Administrative bungles and compromised crime scenes are some of the issues brought up as Sergeant Thabo Mosia takes the stand at the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial. Now, nearly a decade has passed since Bafana and Orlando Pirates goalkeeper, as well as captain, was shot dead at his then-girlfriend Kelly Khumalo's home in Vosloorus. We've got eNCA reporter Silindelo Masikane, who spent the morning in court and is bringing us the very latest developments around there. After the tea session, Slee, quite a bit of the tussle between the lawyers for the accused as well as the state in the way that the state was approaching its engagement with the witness. I mean, just maybe give us some details around that.
Well, what we saw, of course, was the cross-examination of Sergeant Thabo Mosia that was wrapped up, in fact, by the defense. For most of the morning, we saw Advocate Zandile Mshololo just canvassing a few questions of clarity around the crime scene and how it is handled, but putting a statement to Mosia that he had deposed for docket 375, which essentially contradicts the testimony that he had put before court in terms of the question of the crime scene being compromised. In the statement that he deposed for docket 375, he actually makes a significant concession that there is a possibility that the scene was tampered with, given the length of time that it took for him to actually arrive at the crime scene. Let's take a listen.
The incident of a murder scene was reported 4 hours later, and the crime scene address was not yet known on the time. It was reported to me instead. I was told to go to hospital. All delays before reporting the matter to relevant role players might have compromised the murder crime scene.
Ka hare fetulela sesothong e re sebaka sa ketsahalo ya polao se rile ra tsijiswa ka sona ka mora hora tse 4 se ketsahalo e etsahetse ebile ka nako eo le address e ne soka e tsejwa hore ketsahalo ena e etsahetse sebakeng se feng empa nna ke la ka laelwa hore ke hospital tsena tsohle ke tsona tse bakileng tieho ya hore ho latelwe dintho ka tatelano kapa ka tsela e nepahetseng sebakeng sa ketsahalo ena ya polao.
Do you understand the paragraph more, Mr. Mosi?
We utlwisisa hantle paragraph yo monghadi Mosi.
Ke utlwisisa hantle mona.
Yes, I understood the paragraph.
Izwisisa kahle ke le ndawo ebhaliwe la?
True or false?
Ke nnete kapa se nnete?
Ke nnete.
See, that's obviously Advocate Mshololo's insights there, but we also did hear from TT Tobano, and he's representing accused 1 to 4, also having a few questions.
Yes, so he was also given an opportunity to re-examine in terms of the fact that the judge had allowed hearsay evidence to be admitted in court, but also some questions of clarity around, of course, how the crime scene was handled. It does seem as though the defense has been really trying to show the court that the crime scene itself was botched from investigations level. In fact, there was just a lot that happened before police could arrive that we also don't know. And so what TT Tobano actually put to Mosia was how he had collected evidence from the crime scene, in particular a hat that was found, putting it to him that he did not correctly follow procedure. Let's take a listen.
I put it to you, that envelope was not even sealed. And it was not given an X number when you left the scene for the first time with it to attend other scenes.
Arwa o jwetsa he hore envelope eo ene sa kwalwa hantle ka tsela e nepahetseng ebile ha o ne o qeta o kenya ka envelope o tsamaile ka yona le ho ya ka yona dibakeng tse ding tsa ketsahalo.
Ke nnete ke tsamaile ka yona dibakeng tse ding tsa ketsahalo.
It is true that I went with it to attend other scene of crimes.
Kuyiqinisoko ukuthi leyo envelope naleso sigqoko ngahamba nayo nkathi ngiya ke kwezinye ke kunamanye ama complaints la engawathola.
The question is two-pronged. It is about this envelope not having been sealed. And the second part is about you having taken the envelope with you to other crime scenes. So you answered only one.
Warabile ele nngwe hobane potso ena ene le magamabedi. Ya pele ne le hore ene e sa kwalwa hantle ibile sa no ene sa numberiwa yona envelope ena ha o tla tsamaya ka yona. Ke nnete ka patche.
Ke tshepa hore phoso ya ka ke hore ke se ke ka nka snepe ka mora hore ke package.
I think the mistake from my side is not taking the picture of that head after I had packaged it.
So various issues raised there, Slee, from Shololo talking about issues of compromised scenes. Now we're talking about the bagging of evidence from Titi Tobane. The state has had its opportunity now, as we were listening earlier on, to re-examine Mosia. What were some of their focus points?
Well, what we are seeing is that State Prosecutor George Baloyi is essentially trying to save the credibility of the evidence that was brought by Mosia. In fact, he referenced a report in which he had written that, in fact, he did seal the evidence that was collected. Let's take a listen.
At the end of the paragraph 4, various forensics exhibit back numbers are mentioned. And at the end of the paragraph, it states, and sealed brown A4 envelope were all sealed in forensic exhibit back PA 30007888535. Is that correct? That's your letter to the Forensic Science Laboratory.
Ke ka mokgwa o isitseng ka teng ho ba laboratory ka biology section o hlalositse ka mokgwa tsela e hore le brown envelope ene e le teng e kwetswe le bopaki bohle bo kwetswe ka hara sealbag e jwalo ya ba ya fuwa nomoro. That is correct.
Silindelo Masikane, will catch up with you a little bit later. I'm going to give you an opportunity to grab some lunch and just refresh yourself before engaging further with these court proceedings. That is Silindelo Masikane following the court proceedings of the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial.